Look at the world around you. Really look at it. You see the grain in the wood of your desk. You feel the cool air entering your lungs. You hear the hum of electricity in the walls. Everything in your human experience screams one thing. This is real. This is solid. This is objective. You have been taught since birth that you are a small, fragile observer in a world that was already here before you arrived, and will be here long after you are gone. You are told that you are a victim of circumstances, a byproduct of biology, a ghost in a machine made of cold, hard matter. But what if I told you that the very hardness of the world is a persistent optical illusion? What if the most advanced science in human history has already proven that the universe does not exist as a physical thing unless you are there to witness it? This is the observer effect. It is the smoking gun of the simulation. It is the moment where the matrix glitches and reveals its source code. Today, we are moving beyond belief and faith. We are stepping into the laboratory of the soul. We are going to dismantle your understanding of time, space, and matter. By the end of this journey, you will no longer see yourself as a survivor of the world. You will realize you are the one projecting it. Welcome to the end of the solid world. Welcome to pure spiritual wisdom. To understand the magnitude of your power, we must look at the most famous experiment in the history of science. The Double-Slit Experiment. In the early 20th century, physicists like Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg began to peer into the heart of the atom. They expected to find tiny, solid balls of matter like little solar systems. They wanted certainty. They wanted a world they could measure. Instead, they found a nightmare. Imagine a wall with two vertical slits. When they fired large objects, like grains of sand, through these slits, the grains landed on a screen behind the wall in two straight lines. This is the world of classical physics. This is the world you think you live in. But when they fired electrons, the building blocks of your very body, something happened that defied all logic. The electrons didn't form two lines. They formed an interference pattern. A series of multiple stripes across the entire screen. This is the hallmark of a wave. It is what happens when you throw two stones into a lake and the ripples collide. But here is the problem. Scientists were firing the electrons one by one. How can a single particle collide with itself? The math gave them a terrifying answer. The electron was not a thing. It was a wave of probability. Before it was measured, it existed in a state called superposition. It went through the left slit. It went through the right slit. It went through both. It went through neither. It was a cloud of infinite potential, existing everywhere at once. The scientists couldn't handle this. They wanted to know, which slit did the electron really go through? So, they placed a detecting device at the slits. They wanted to watch the particle choose its path. And the moment they observed the electron, the universe changed. The electron stopped, acting like a wave of possibility. It instantly collapsed into a solid particle. It chose one slit. It formed two straight lines on the wall. The interference pattern, the magi, vanished. The mere act of conscious observation forced the infinite potential of the universe to freeze into a single, physical reality. Think about the implications for your life. If the atoms that make up your chair, your house, and your bank account are made of these particles, what happens to your world when you aren't looking? And more importantly, how's the way you look at your life, forcing it to stay solid in a form you don't even like? If observation collapses the wave of possibility into reality, then why is your reality so predictable? Why does it feel so heavy, so stuck, so real? It is because you have forgotten how to observe. You see, the observer in the quantum lab is a neutral instrument, but you are a biased observer. You are a biological machine programmed by years of trauma, social conditioning, and repetitive thought patterns. You are not looking at a new world every morning. You are looking at a world through the lens of your memory. When you wake up and think about your debts, you are observing your bank account through the frequency of lack. You are focusing your conscious attention on the particle of poverty. By so doing, you are forcing the quantum field to collapse back into the same reality of poverty you had yesterday. You are collapsing your suffering into existence every single second. The matrix is not a computer program outside of you. It is the habitual way you use your attention. Most people are passive observers. They look at what is, and they react to it. They see a problem, they feel fear, and that fear acts as a new observation. which creates more of the problem. It is a closed-loop system, a self-fulfilling prophecy made of light and shadow. To break the matrix, you must become an active observer. You must understand that the problems in your life are only solid because you keep witnessing them as solid. The moment you withdraw your attention from the problem and place it on the potential, the wave function begins to shift. But why is this so hard? Because your biology is addicted to the solid world. Your brain loves certainty, even if that certainty is painful. You would rather live in a predictable prison than an unpredictable field of infinite freedom. But science is telling you the truth. The prison bars are only there because you are measuring the distance between them. Let's go deeper into the biology of this illusion. Most people believe their eyes are like cameras that take pictures of a world that is already there. This is biologically false. Your eyes do not see objects. They receive photon waves of electromagnetic energy. Your ears do not hear music. They receive pressure waves in the air. Your skin does not feel touch. It receives electrical resistance. Your brain sits in a dark, silent vault. It has never seen the sun. It has never heard a voice. It only receives electrical impulses. It takes these impulses and renders a 3D simulation that you call the outside world. You are literally living in a biological VR headset. And here is the bridge to the quantum. The observer is the one wearing the headset. If you change the software, your beliefs, your nervous system state, your identity, the rendering must change. This is why people who have miraculous healings or sudden shifts in wealth often describe the world as feeling different or lighter. They aren't just thinking differently. They are observing a different timeline. Modern neurotheology shows us that during deep states of meditation or flow, the parts of the brain that create the sense of me versus the world shut down. In that moment, the solid world starts to flicker. The boundary between the observer and the observed disappears. This is the zero-point field. This is where you return to the wave state. In T-stat, you are no longer a person trying to manifest a thing. You are the field itself, reorganizing its own energy. When you master your nervous system, you stop being a victim of the collapse. You stop being a slave to the electrical signals coming into your brain. You start sending signals out. You stop being the player in the game, and you become the programmer. The world is not out there. It is a projection onto the screen of your consciousness. And you are the light in the projector. This brings us to the ultimate secret, the realization that even the scientists are afraid to speak aloud. If the observer is necessary for the universe to exist, who was observing the universe before humans evolved? Who was observing the billions of galaxies we haven't seen yet? The answer is the final key to your liberation. There are not 8 billion separate observers on this planet. There is only one observer, looking through 8 billion sets of eyes. This is what the ancient Vedas called Atman, what the Gnostics called the monad, what we call the source. You are not your consciousness. You are consciousness. You are the infinite field of awareness that has taken on the form of a person for a brief moment in time. You are the witness of the dream. The observer effect is simply the universe recognizing itself. When you truly understand this, to search for power or manifestation ends. Why would you try to manifest something that is already part of your own being? The seeker is the sought. The observer is the observer. This is the end of suffering. Suffering only exists when you think you are a separate part of the machine, struggling against other parts. But when you realize you are the entire machine and the one who built it, the struggle stops. The matrix dissolves not through a fight, but through a shift in perspective. You don't need to escape the world. You need to realize that the world is already escaping from you every time you blink, only to be recreated by your next thought. Rest in that stillness. Rest in the knowledge that you are the primary substance of reality. Everything else is just a ripple in your own ocean. The experiment is over. The results are in. The solid world is a ghost. You have the evidence. You have the science. You have the truth. Now, the only question that remains is, what will you choose to observe next? Will you walk back into the old dream of limitation, or will you open your eyes and see the infinite field of light waiting for your command? If you are the architect of this simulation, what is the first rule you are going to change today? Comment below. I am the observer, and the dream is mine. Anchor your frequency in the field. Let your consciousness record this shift. If this resonance has reached the core of your being, join our channel. Subscribe to Pure Spiritual Wisdom. We are not here to teach you. We are here to help you remember. Stop seeking. Start observing. Rest in the source.